Hey there, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the end of year book tag. So it is crazy to think that 2020 is going to be over in 2 months, that I can possibly be doing this tag, but it is almost the end of October when I'm filming this, so I feel like it's appropriate. But before we go ahead and get on into the questions, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I post new content. I post new videos every Sunday and every Wednesday, and sometimes I post bonus videos on Friday. Question number 1 asks, are there any books that you started this year that you still need to finish? And hallelujah, no there's not. I am very good about finishing books that I pick up because I don't like that hanging over my head that I have all of these books that are half read that I still need to finish. So I am good when it comes to that. Question 2 is, do you have an autumnal read to transition you into the end of the year? And I don't have like a specific read, but for some reason, when I think of autumn, November, early December reads, I think of like forests. I don't know why. I just think of stories that take place in the forest. So when I was thinking about books that I possibly want to read in November, they all had kind of forest themes. Additionally, for some reason, Arthurian retellings come to mind when I think autumn, and I have no clue why. But here are a couple books that I consider for myself personally good fall reads, and maybe I'll read in November. The first book would be Robin Hood by Henry Gilbert. I don't know why I think of this as an autumnal read. Takes place in the woods, kind of. It's like late dark ages, and for some reason I think of this when I think of autumn. But this is a book that I'm considering reading in November as a fall read. And like I said, Arthurian retellings. So Merlin by Stephen Lawhead. This is the second book in the Pendragon cycle. I read the first one, I want to say last year, Taliesin, and actually really liked it. But this is a rendition of the King Arthur tale, and it is heavily rooted in history. Stephen Lawhead is, I want to say he's a historian or like just is very involved in history. So all of his books, even though this is a fake story, has a ton of historical influences, and I do really want to continue with the Pendragon cycle eventually. So I feel like it would be a good book to pick up in fall because it's a King Arthur retelling. And then we have the Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White. This is a YA Arthurian tale following Guinevere as she is sent to Camelot to save Camelot, as far as I know. And I want to say she is like a changeling or she is some sort of shapeshifter. And it just sounds like a really, really unique taking on the Camelot and King Arthur story. So this is another one that I'm considering picking up in November. The next question is there a new release that you're still waiting for the end of the year? And I have 2 anticipated releases. The first one is Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson, which comes out at the end of November, and I have already pre-ordered my copy, so you can count that I'm going to be reading that. And then the other one is, I think it's Sky Beyond the Storm, the title of it, by Saba Tahir. This is book 4 in the Ember in the Ashes quartet, and that's a series that I just started this year and have read all the way up through book 3 and really enjoyed it. So this book comes out in December, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the story ends. The next question is, what are 3 books that you want to read by the end of the year? And these are all endings to series. So I have a couple series that I need to wrap up that I do not want to carry into 2021. We'll see if I can get to them, but I did make a video a couple months ago about series that I needed to finish, and I think I finished only 1 of those that I put on there, maybe 2. So I definitely have some catching up to do in the next 2 months. The first finale I need to finish is The Last Uncharted Sky by Curtis Craddock. This is the last book in the Risen Kingdoms trilogy. This is an adult fantasy with steampunk elements, and it is definitely, I can say, one of my favorite series. And the way that book 2 ended, it ended on a cliffhanger with a trope that I absolutely love. So I am just so excited to see where Curtis Craddock takes this final book. And especially because I feel like just the way that the cover looks, oh, I'm so excited. So this is another book that I do hopefully want to get to in November. The next series I need to finish is the Draconis Memoria series by Anthony Ryan by Reading Empire of Ashes. This is book 3 in the trilogy. This is another adult fantasy series that surrounds dragons and ingesting dragon blood to get enhanced abilities. I really like this series. It's incredibly dense, but I just love the characters. I love the world. I love how every single book Anthony Ryan introduces us to more background to help us understand the context of this world and how and why these characters are acting the way that they are. And I'm not really sure how the series is going to end. So, this is a finale that I'm highly anticipating and one that I do plan on getting to by the end of the year. And lastly, we have Nemesis by S.J. Kincaid. This is book 3 in the Diabolic series, which is a YA sci-fi series. I just hauled this book. It came out in August, and I love this series. I always say it's like the Cruel Prince in space, only because there are so many characters that you don't know if they're good or bad or how they're going to act. They're extremely unpredictable, which makes the plot extremely unpredictable. And I just thought that what happened in book 2 was highly unexpected, and I don't know how to take it, and I don't know if it's real or not. And I'm just very anxious to get to the third book to see if all of my questions from book 2 are finally answered. So, once again, this is another series that I really want to finish by the end of 2020. Question 5 asks, is there a book that could still shock you and become your favorite? And it is actually the one that I'm currently reading, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by B.E. Schwab. This is an adult historical fantasy. I'm about 130 pages in, and I'm absolutely adoring it. I'm loving the writing style, and I can tell you, Victoria Schwab has made me feel some emotions already extremely early in this book. Like my heart is just breaking for Addie as she's going through what she's going through. And I just have a feeling that there's going to be some absolutely beautiful themes in this book. And I am so excited to finish it. And the last question is, have you already started making your 2021 book plans? And I have. So I have already started kind of perusing my shelves, planning which series I want to start in 2021, which series I want to binge in 2021, which series I want to prioritize, because I have so many unread series in my book collection that I just need to knock out. I haven't yet looked up 2021 new book releases to see how that will fit into my reading year, but I've definitely gone through and started planning which series I want to prioritize out of my own collection. So I cannot wait to share that with you guys once the new year rolls around. All right, you guys, so that is it for my end of year book tag. Let me know in the comments some answers to these questions, or if you're going to do this tag, I tag everybody because I would love to hear your answers, especially what books you still want to read in the next 2 months, because I feel like that's a lot of pressure. And I will see you guys soon in another video. Goodbye.